Let us begin the panel discussion. So I promise you to finish by 12 o'clock, so I'll do my best. So please be with us until the very end. So we have 3 panelists on stage. I have already introduced them. We have senior researcher Oh Seo-yeon, we have CEO Jin Hyou-sang, and Director Hwang Jun-seong. Please introduce yourself and I'll ask the questions to you. Good morning. I am from KMI, especially from Fisheries Research Division, and I'm in charge of the research on the fishery digitalization. Thank you. Good morning. I am CEO of AQUAFARM, Jin Hyou-sang. We are leading projects on the smart aqua farm at 6 cities. So we have completed building the facilities this year. And we are building recirculating aquaculture system, RAS. So we are the first ever company to introduce the RAS system. Our goal is to produce Atlantic salmon through RAS. Nice to meet you all. Good morning. I am from the Ministry of Oceans and Fishery. I'm in charge of fishery policy. As you know, we have one division or department for small vessel fisheries and one department for distant water fisheries. In our department, we support the distant water and coastal waters fisheries, and the policy division gives support to the both. I'll listen through and refer that to our policy. Thank you. So in the process of listening to the presentations, we had some questions in mind. In the fishing village, and let's see, how could AI be applied? And how will the public acceptance on AI be at the fishing villages? And will the data gathered through AI be well managed? So that's why I invited senior researcher Oh Seo-yeon from KMI. So I would like to ask a question on the subject discussed through the presentations in Korea. As you study the digitalization acceptance to the public, how can we enhance the digital acceptance at the fishing village? This year, I have done a research on digital acceptance, but before that, I thought a lot on this. Many fishery digitalization was conducted top-down, and fishing villages were quite reluctant to accept that. So that's why I selected this subject to do another research. Across the industry, digitalization is taking very fast. But fisheries sector is different from other industry because the speed is quite sluggish, because the fishing villages feel quite reluctant to accept digitalization or digital transformation. But while I used the ChatGPT myself, I personally realized that we cannot postpone digitalization in this field anymore. So today, I would like to share the results of my research. During the presentation, EU, Norway, and Korea are leading the application of digitalization to increase the fishery productivity and enhance the efficiency of resource management. EU, for fishery management, they are taking the lead and produces many model cases and took the lead in establishing international regulations on this. And they are expediting the digital transformation, and they have a reason to do so. They have many digital transformation projects. So rather than depending on the experience of the fishermen, data can be used to make a better decision. In Korea as well, we have fishery advancement policy, and to set up a smart system, we are applying AI technology. And onshore and offshore, we have AI observer to collect automatic data on fishery operation and to monitor IUU fishing. For fish farm as well, in digital transformation, we are converting to automation, from automation to digitalization. But in order to introduce that to the fishing villages and persuade the fishermen to accept this, there are a lot of challenges. In the interview with the fishing community, we realized that many fishermen don't feel the need to do digital transformation because they think digital transformation as another regulation, and they don't feel the need to make another efforts. So first, they think that the new technology will, at the end of the day, enhance the sustainability, but they were more passive in their attitude. Especially for the policy, top-down policies, they think that those kind of government-led policy doesn't suit the on-site efforts. But the passive attitude of the fishing community, even though they may have such attitude and reluctance, we have done the acceptance study, and when there is an actual convenience produced through those policy, we realize that the fishing community will accept that if there is a real benefit. Rather than just persuading the fishing community to just follow the regulations, we need to show them that the technology can be of benefit, and if they can see the real evidence out of that advantages, then they will be open to accept the new technologies. Therefore, we need to think about the convenience of the fishing community first in developing the technology and refer that to the policies. Then we can change their attitudes from passive to more active. So voluntary engagement of the fishing community is important. Then for that, technology should provide real advantages to them to persuade them to break away from the passive attitude. So first, we need to disseminate the model cases and then optimize the financial support to the fishing community. Through these kind of measures, I think we can enhance the acceptance at the fishing community. Through continuous training and giving them the correct data, we need to support fishing community to understand the advantages of the technology and give detailed guidelines on how they can apply the technology at their fishing operations. So if we do so, fishing community will understand the policies not as a regulation, strict regulations, but the guideline to better the profit. To guarantee the value out of the policy, we are constantly communicating with the fishing community and share the outcome of the new technology so that they are well aware of the advantages. While doing so, we will be able to engage more fishing community people in this project. I think in order to secure sustainability of the fishing industry, voluntary engagement of the fishing community is very important. And again, technology and policy will have to consider their convenience first. That's all.
Thank you. So at the end of the day, I think her message was all about, I think we have to do it right so that the rest can also follow, right? And I would like to invite CEO Jin Hyou-sang. So digital twin technology was introduced with related to smart aquaculture farm. The recirculating system is at the very forefront. So would you explain about how you combine the latest technology with aquaculture farm? So domestic aquaculture farm, I think there are many limitations in Korea, Norway, and also the European countries. Aquaculture farm technologies has been already grown, and they are achieving size of the economy, and also China and Japan as well. When I went to China, Ningbo City, and also Nordic Aqua partners, I paid a visit to their factory for recirculating system, and they can produce the salmon up to like 4,000 tons every year. And also there's a Norway company which can produce at least 1,000 and also 5,000 tons of salmon. The construction is on the way. In Korea, for the first time in Korea, we just started to build the aquaculture farm with a capacity of 500 tons. And when small companies try to something like this, the cost will only increase to introduce AI technology, and it will impose a huge financial burden on small size private companies. But we have government officials from the Ministry of Maritime and also Fisheries, and also subsidy from the Busan city government, and also GS construction company, which is partially owning our company. Thanks to their support, we could do smart aquaculture farm well. I used to be an employee of GS Construction, and GS Construction really helped us a lot. And smart AI technology will be best utilized to combine the technology of the Norway and also the GS expertise in building ocean structure, and also technology called LAS, and we are going to develop it into domestic model. So all of which makes a package of LAS technology, and we are going to complete it. So when we construct a facility by December, we are going to continuously accumulate big data, and utilizing IoT system, we are going to have a control system. At the same time, we are going to really nurture the best environment using smart IoT for salmon, and also mechanical water filtering system, biological filtering system, UV sterilization system, CO2 eradication system, oxygen supply system, JWC system, zero water concept system. Unlike other countries, we're going to additionally put more technologies so that salmon can grow in an environment, really pristine environment, uncomparable to other environments. And also smart monitoring system will be also introduced to the tank to really selectively measure the weight and also the length of the salmon so that they can be separated from others. And we are going to analyze the growth of the salmon, and we are going to prevent the development of disease, and also data-based decision making will be possible. And also, we are going to introduce smart AI to decide the best timing of transporting and sending our salmon to the market. One thing I would like to add is that the pioneers are always very difficult, right, to get approval from the government, and also in terms of the cost and investment, and also in developing technology domestically. So in the future, I would like to really emphasize that the mutual cooperation is very important among stakeholders for these 6 smart clusters. So your continued attention and interest are ever more important and needed. Thank you.
As mentioned, pioneers face a lot of difficulties, and we cannot know the business outcome of this first attempt. So that's why there is low acceptance at the fishing community. As you are supported by GS Construction, I know that you face a lot of challenges in introducing your novel technology. So now I would like to turn the microphone over to Director Hwang Jun-seong. So while listening to the presentation and panelist comments, so what's your thoughts on the policy direction? I only have 3 minutes. As the Director of Fishery Policy Division, before becoming a Director for Fishery Policy Division, I was in charge of maritime space. And at the time, with the private sector, I considered a lot on how to gather geographical ocean data, but it is greatly needed. And it was difficult to invite private companies to engage in the ocean data collection project. But if you think about the fisheries sectors, we need to implement total allowable catch. And if we look at the European countries, later on, this will become international standards. We have CPTPP and other trade convention. And they have human rights chapter and labor chapter that prevent IUU and illegal labor. And monitoring on IUU and illegal labor should be done through those chapters. According to those chapters, if they take effect, then we will have to revise our domestic regulations, and coastal vessels will have to abide by the regulations by equipping the system. If one conglomerate is to lead this kind of effort, it would be okay, but for distant water fisheries, it's okay, but for coastal fisheries, it's done by small fishing vessel and low-income fishing community, so we have a lot of concerns. So if the fishery product can be sold at high price, then it will pay off, but that's not possible in Korea. And many entities request the government to provide incentive or support, but it will be difficult to subsidize all. So that's the dilemma we face. In the fish farming industry, the ground fish farm or offshore fish farm, we reached the limits. As the people costs increase, oil costs also increase, and the feedstock costs increase as well. Due to these kind of cost increase, we need to offset this through AR system. We need to track the fish behavior and feed them automatically. If we introduce this kind of new technology, the cost will go down. And next year, we are going to implement a new project and R&D as well, so that we can lead this way. For that, I think we should commercialize this kind of approach, and the policy should suit that. Thank you. So it's 12 o'clock. Let us give 2 minutes more. Use 2 minutes more. We have 2 speakers on stage. And Mr. Yan Bant, I would like to ask you a question, who is online. Recently, NVIDIA has published a model on climate change prediction to mention that the importance of ocean data. Previously, difficult data usage, I think NVIDIA's approach will show us a new way to solve that kind of issues. According to what you think, what's your take on the ocean prediction or disaster prediction project? You briefly touched upon that. Could you elaborate on the possibility of using ocean prediction data? And to Jean-Pierre Cusack.
My question for you is that acceptance among fishermen, especially for that technology, I think that raises concerns over privacy, and we still there is opposition resistance from fishermen. How can we increase the technological acceptance among fishermen? So I will give you 1 minute each.
Thank you very much for the question regarding NVIDIA. So you're probably referring to Earth 2, so the digital twin, which also includes the ocean and extreme weather prediction. We're working actually together with NVIDIA in this kind of direction. The thing is that Earth 2 is mainly focusing on weather. So, and for sure, weather is a very important factor in the ocean space. But I think there's way more than weather to it. So my suggestion would be in future to enrich the NVIDIA model with real ocean data, underwater data as well, because this will give us a total new insight. So the technologies that NVIDIA provide, they are amazing, but the data is the key to the technology and to also using AI on it.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you. And Jung Pye Kuza, Strategic Project Manager. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the question on confidence, and this definitely takes time. We believe that the regulations cannot go if they are only top-down, so we need to work on the other direction, talking to fishers, talking to fisher associations. So where fisher associations are open to discussion, then it's already half of the work to success, because they are the most appropriate parties to understand the objectives, the constraints, and to give the right message to their members. We have examples where the small-scale fishers, they find a kind of short-term benefit to establishing digital technologies like reporting their catch, establishing traceability solutions so that they can market their seafood at a better price, market directly to restaurants, reduce the intermediaries, etc. So there are successful examples, and the fishers associations are the best interface when it deals about technologies.
네, 마지막 질문.
Thank you. Thank you for answering. So today we have talked about sustainable fisheries and AI innovations for the future. We have talked about the way forward. So at the end of the day, by combining our knowledge and also the AI, we will be able to have a collaborative model. And all the efforts made by presenters and also discussants, I think we have to think it as a combination of the AI and also the human effort. So by utilizing fast computing capability, I think we might witness digitalization and also digital transformation over the industries. And I believe that we gained a few insights for us to help go forward. So this brings an end to the discussion session. For the fisheries session, I would like to thank the presenters who are joining us online and also other discussants. Thank you very much.